Hi guys, today we are doing the Zoom lesson, naming and subdividing shapes. So if you happen to have missed the Zoom lesson this morning, you can come along with me and we can name and subdivide some shapes. All right, first of all, we better wake our brain up just a little bit. So notice in the corner, I have a shape and it has the number 6. Can you tell me what it is? A hexagon? You're correct. All right, but I do have a different brain wake up for you. What is the difference of 3,087 and 259? Now remember that difference means to subtract. So pause the video, try it, and then come on back and we'll check together. Okay, first I set my problem up. And I noticed that I have 7 in the top and I cannot take 9 away, so I have to cross that off. My 8 becomes a 7. My 7 becomes a 17. 17 take away 9 is 8. 7 take away 5 is 2. I have a 0 in my hundreds place, so I have to go over to the thousands place and borrow. That becomes a 2. This becomes a 10. 10 take away 2 is 8. I drop down my comma, and you should have gotten 2,828. If you did, thumbs up. You're waking your brain up. Let's try the next wake up brain. Notice in the corner, I have another shape, and it has the 5 on it. That means it has 5 sides and 5 angles. Can you tell me what shape that is? Hopefully you said a pentagon. Let's do our next wake up brain activity. 45 times 4. Go ahead and solve this and then come on back and we'll check it together. Okay, first of all, the best way to solve this is to go up and down. It really doesn't make any sense to go sideways. So we follow the strategies. 4 times 4 is 16. Carry that 1. 4 times 5 is 20, and 1 more is 21. You should have gotten 216. If so, you're doing a great job. All right, next wake up your brain. This is the last wake up your brain, and then your brain will be really awake. All right, take a look in the corner. What do you see over there? I see the number 7. So we have to think to ourselves, what shape has 7 sides and 7 angles? What is that called? Did you say heptagon? You are correct. All right, woo, this is a real brain wake up because we're awake now. Mrs. Hawkins made 125 cupcakes. She gave 28 to the neighbors, 56 to her students, and she kept the rest. How many does she have? Go ahead and figure this problem out and then come on back and we'll check it together. Okay. Did you make sure, now there's 2 ways you could have done this, but did you make sure that you did some subtracting and to figure this out? You might have added 2 things together and then subtracted. I'm going to subtract everything. So I'm going to take the 125 that I made, the cupcakes, and I'm going to take away 28 of those. So 5 take away 8 I cannot do, so I cross off my 2, it becomes a 1. My 5 became a 15. 15 take away 8 is 7. 1 take away 2 I cannot do, so I take this away. This becomes an 11, and so now I have 97 left. Okay, but I can't keep all those yet because then it says I gave 56 to my students. So I'm going to go ahead and set my problem up 97 because that's what I had left. And I am going to go ahead and I am going to now subtract the 56 from that. So 7 take away 6 is 1. 9 take away 5, 9 take away 5 is 4. All right, so I had a total of 41 cupcakes left over. I hope you had 41 also. Now, let me just tell you, you could have taken the 28 and you could have added the 56 together and then subtracted that from 125. Either way works, you're going to get 41 cupcakes. Okay? All right, now name the polygons. So I'm going to pop in some polygons here, and I'm going to tell you what they are in just a little bit, but try them on your own. All right, 10 sides and 10 angles. What do you think that is? Hopefully you said a decagon. 8 sides and 8 angles. What do you think that is? Hopefully you said an octagon. 3 sides and 3 angles. What is that? Did you say a triangle? 5 sides and 5 angles. We saw that just a little while ago. Did you say a pentagon? 7 sides and 7 angles. We also saw that just a little while ago. Did you say heptagon? I like that word. 4 sides, 4 angles. Did you say quadrilateral? That's a big word. Quad means 4. 6 sides and 6 angles. Did you say hexagon? I like to remember hex and 6. They both have X's. I hope you said nonagon on that one. I always say that's my favorite one. Okay, I want to take a look at these just for a moment because something that we're going to do or I'm going to show you has to do with these particular shapes. So notice the first one, I have a triangle because I have 3 sides, 3 angles. Here is another kind of triangle. It's just looking a little different, but it's still 3 sides, 3 angles. I have my quadrilateral, which is a square. This is that parallelogram. Sometimes people might call it like a rhombus. Okay, and this red one is a trapezoid. That's a fun word. And of course, this has 6 sides, 6 angles, so it's a hexagon. All right, and later on, you're actually going to be using something like that. But I wanted you to know what those were. Okay, so we're going to talk about mixing and matching some polygons. We know that a polygon is a closed figure, and we know that it has straight lines. All right, so we're going to take a look. Here's some polygons, and they're triangles. There's 4 of them. So if we're mixing and matching, subdividing means that we're creating a new shape using these shapes. So if I take these 4 triangles and I put some together, do you see that I've created a new shape right here? I've actually created that, that rhombus or let's see, parallelogram. So we could look at it either way. All right, and notice here's that parallelogram sitting right on top of it. So the blue is the parallelogram. So taking those 4 actually created a brand new shape. Actually, you only need 2 to create a parallelogram. All right, here's the next one. I'm taking the same 4 triangles and whoa, I made a gigantic triangle. Notice that I had to kind of twist them and shape them, but I have created a larger triangle from the 4 triangles that I started with. So that's subdividing, it's changing them around. All right, here are 2 trapezoids. Can you think of what I might be able to do with 2 trapezoids? All right, if I put them together, it's going to look like this hexagon. And the hexagon right here is all one shape, but see each of these trapezoids, once I turned them, then they actually made a hexagon. All right, now there are 2 hexagons, there are 2 trapezoids underneath my hexagon. And so I decided, you know what, I'm going to undo that, and I am going to make something new. I'm going to actually take one of my parallelograms and one of my triangles, and I'm going to make a trapezoid. Do you see how I made a new shape with that? All right, then I thought, you know what, I'm going to take my parallelogram and my triangle, I'm going to put that together, and then what if I took one more triangle and I put it in there? Can you think of what I might be able to make? Did you think of a larger triangle? Next, I went back to that hexagon, and you see I have a trapezoid on top of it. And I decided, hey, what if I take not 1, not 2, but 3 of these triangles? What do you think I might be able to do with 3 of these triangles? All right, did you see that coming? Did you see when we take a trapezoid and 3 triangles, we can actually make a hexagon? All right, now I've got 2 parallelograms, I have 2 triangles, and I have a hexagon. All right, notice that I am beginning to fill in the hexagon with some of my shapes. I've already put 2 parallelograms down, and I've got some triangles that are going to go somewhere. Did you see where they were going to go? So I can make, actually I can make a hexagon in lots of different ways. All right, there is what I just finished making, and I'm going to show you another way to make it. So I could go ahead and take those 2 triangles out, and I could add another parallelogram, and I would have made a hexagon. All right, so now I want you to tell me what shapes were used in order to make the shape that we have right here. So right here, now I've made the shapes underneath here, and I'm going to show you in a minute, but can you label or say what each of those shapes are? So I'll give you a moment to pause, and then I'll show you in just a moment. Okay. Did you list a parallelogram, a triangle, and a triangle? All right, what about this shape? Did you list a triangle and a triangle? And that is making that parallelogram again. All right, this one's basically a rectangle. We've used a lot of different things to make this rectangle. Can you name them? All right, in this case, I have a triangle, a different kind of triangle than the green one. A triangle, I have a square or a quadrilateral, I have a triangle, and I have a triangle. That all those put together make a rectangle. All right, here's a large triangle. And what shapes were used to make that? Aha! 2 triangles put together actually make a triangle. This is a really odd shape. It's not a specific shape of any kind, but I'll say it has 1 side, 2 sides, 3 sides, 4 sides, 5 sides, 6 sides. So it's a little different than, it is a hexagon, but it doesn't look exactly like the hexagon like we've been using. But can you see the shapes that I used in there? All right, notice that I actually used a hexagon. I used a triangle, I used a triangle, and I used a parallelogram to make kind of a long hexagon. Okay, now this is really important. It's nothing that I can show you. In Zoom class, we actually did this because I had all the students go to this website. So if you can type in this website, write it down and type it in, this will give you a great place to practice. And you can see all those shapes that I showed you before. This is the place that you can actually move them around and you can create some of your own things. And it's really great for trying to decide how those shapes work together. All right. Great job today. I'm really proud of your hard work, the way that you're sticking with math and working on that geometry. And in class, we would have been moving all these things around, but we can't do that right now. So that website is perfect to be able to do that. Until next time, bye-bye.